Well, I don't. You got to play a complete game. You got to be a pro. I just recently got a root canal, and watching the Saints in the first half against the Texans and the first half against the Jaguars, I think I'd rather have a root canal every week than watch the first half. What occurred against the Texans and what occurred against the Jaguars. I mean, I know the Prince. The Prince is, he's one of the best young quarterbacks. He gets recognized around the NFL, that being Trevor Lawrence. Man, I'd hate to see if his knee wasn't hurt. I don't know. He didn't look hurt to me. He's scrambling around. He had 8 carries, 59 yards, 7.5-yard average. Haven't seen this too much, and I like our defense. Do you know we had 0 sacks, 0 quarterback hurries? How? Exactly. You would think, I think they were banged up on the offensive line like we were. And then I look at them. They had 7 quarterback hurries, and, they had a sack. But it goes to show you where you're at now. And if you're a Jaguar fan, you got to be ecstatic because, regular season games, ultimately you want to get to the Super Bowl. But they've won 10 of their last 12 regular season games. So I would say with Coach Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, they trending in the right direction where the Saints look like at times, especially in the first half, like we're an expansion team. We're definitely an expansion team in the red zone. I mean, the way the red zone has officially become, until proven differently, you could say the stink zone or dead zone. It's like rotting flesh. It's like it makes you want to throw up. I mean, come on, we 9 of 24 in the dead zone. When you think about that, we were ranked 27th. So we're at the bottom of the league. You got to be able to score touchdowns. So it is the stink zone, dead zone, or however you want to describe it. I don't know. Usually you have to convert on third down to win the time of possession. I'm like, how did we have the ball more than 12 minutes and we sucked on third down? It was terrible. We were 3 of 18, 17%. And even as bad as our defense played, I thought the first half, we always tend to bounce back. Well, what, is Dennis Allen chewing them out at halftime? Or are we making great halftime adjustments? How about we make great adjustments before the game starts? How about we don't get out-coached on a fake punt? Now, what I look at, more than any other team this season, man, they were high school open a number of times. I'm talking about 4 to 5 yards open. And Kirk, I mean, that touchdown he scored, boy, speed kills. You think you have the angle, but not so fast. So that was very disheartening. Is Jimmy Graham not on the team anymore? You might as well, okay, Jimmy, just retire, or we're going to have a ceremony for you before the game, and then you wave to the crowd or whatever. We're not going to utilize him? We're not going to utilize him in the red zone. Mismatch. Jimmy Graham's a giant compared to some of these DBs that are 5'9", 5'10". So you don't think he knows how to score in the red zone? I mean, he's not that old. He's not in the old folks' home. I mean, you would think you'd want to utilize Jimmy Graham in the red zone considering how we're struggling. And this is puzzling, too. That's why you can't look at, oh, man, look all the yards we're putting up. Man, sometimes, when you're way behind, you can say you can get garbage yards and pad the stats. But we're fighting back. I mean, not giving up. But we have back-to-back 400 total yards. Think how empty those yards are. We're still not able to run the ball like a lot. I would like. And look, number of plays. I always say you want to have about 65 plays. We had 87. That's almost like 5 quarters of football when you look at the number of actual plays you had offensively. Again, turnover margin. People say, hey, Barry, you're full of crap. You keep saying we win the turnover margin, we're going to win. Well, I don't know. I just go by history in the 80-some%. We are +1 for the game. We +3 for the season. And we have a losing record. Boy, give me 120 to 130 total scrimmage yards from Alvin Kamara. Boy, I think that's a great winning effort, and we should be able to win. Well, he had 153 total yards. And he ended up being the leading receiver, 14 targets, 12 catches, 91 yards. He had 62 yards rushing. I thought Alvin Kamara was running hard. But look at Kirk. I mean, who's guarding Kirk? I thought Bobby, you said we had all the greatest defensive backs.
The best DBs in Saints history.
Well, not what's his name? Christian Kirk. His last name Kirk. I don't know. He got targeted 6 times, 6 catches, averaged 15 yards of reception. So whoever was checking him, they better check themselves because they weren't able to stop him. But really, nothing to write home about when you. Look, like I said, I thought our Saints defense, that if you'd have told me we're going to have 0 sacks and 0 quarterback hurries, I go, well, Trevor Lawrence, he has that knee brace dealing with that knee. But you look at Trevor Lawrence, he rushes 8 times for 59 yards, and he averaged 7.5 yards a carry. So
there's that, what is it, big 26-yard run he had, right?
He had a 26 long gain, so... I mean, well, what if he was really healthy? He'd have ran maybe for 80 yards or something, but we were not able to contain him. He had a quarterback rating of 100.4. Derek Carr had like 73.4. Now, again, we had to do this because considering we were behind having to play catch-up, that's not good. Now, Derek Carr threw for 301 yards, but he threw 55 passes. No, that would be throw about 18 less than that or something. That's too many passes. That means you are playing catch up. Trevor Lawrence only threw 29 passes, past the great Trevor Lawrence. But again, our schedule, you are what your schedule says. We're a losing team right now. I'm not saying we're losers, but we're a losing team. We're not 500.
No, we're below 500.
We're below 500. We got to beat the Colts to get back to 500. Then you play in the bad news Bears. Who knows? That's going to be in the dome. I don't know what's going to happen. We might make Justin Fields look like all world. It's a mini bye right now. How are we going to address this? How are we going to bounce back? The NFC South's wide open. Listen, okay, it's not like, a must win, must win. It's a must win because our division is so sorry. Tampa Bay ain't going anywhere. The Falcons aren't going anywhere. Carolina can't even win a game. Think the Saints are going to? Somebody has to win the NFC South. Like last year, look at Tampa Bay. Didn't they have a losing record on the NFC South? We might have back-to-back NFC South winners with a losing record. You might, I went 8-9. I won the division. I get to host a home game. The fans were there. The fans were there and want to cheer.
We heard a lot of boos, too.
And boos from the first quarter.
Right.
Because we were playing like hot garbage like we did the first half against the Texans. Please, when we play the Colts on October the 29th, please get off to a great start. Please don't, we're going at halftime and have to bitch how sorry the team's playing. How about we get going from the get-go? Because you practice all week and you have a game plan. And then do good in the first half, then you make adjustments, and maybe you keep the pace on a positive level and play 4 quarters. I don't know what's going to happen. I think Who Dat Nation is very discouraged right now. Because all I know, it's a production business. You got to win, or it's not kumbaya. It's not, or changes have to be made. It can't be, can't we all just get along? No, in the real world, we wish people would get along more. But on the football field, you got to produce. No, you could be a jerk, but if you win, you're going to have a job many a years. You can have double-digit NFL, a career. But if you're a nice guy and you don't produce, you're going to sell insurance, or you're going to do something else. You're not playing in the NFL. That's just the way it is. It's tough love. And I do agree with Dennis Allen somewhat. Our piecemeal offensive line, I think we did pretty good. I thought we were hanging, considering we didn't get whooped like I thought we might have as far as getting embarrassed. They only had 1 sack. Smoot had 1. But anyway, very discouraging loss. So close, but so far. Like, okay, we all love Foster Moreau. He's from New Orleans. But you got to catch the ball. You got to make the play.
Right.
I don't know if we're going to win. We go in overtime, we might not win. You know how the game unfolds. You don't know. but you got to give yourself opportunities and make those plays to give yourself a chance.